What is going on, everybody? Brent's Bricks back here with another video, and today I'm doing this whole video with this towel on my head. Nah, there's no way. I literally just feel ridiculous when I dry my hair like that, but I don't really like my hair wet, so I gotta get it dry somehow. What is going on, everybody? Brent's Bricks back here with another video, and today we are finally going to talk about the gunship. Yeah, so overall, I gotta say, I'm not too happy with this gunship. I mean, it's really lacking some details, and yeah, I don't know. I mean, can you blame me? I just don't think it's very good. All right. I'm done with the jokes now, I promise. All right, guys, so today we are going to finally talk about the UCS Gunship. Now, there's already a lot of reviews out there, so this isn't really going to be a full-on just basic review of this set. However, I did watch most of the main LEGO YouTubers' reviews on this, and surprisingly enough, I did find a few things about the gunship that none of them discussed. So I am going to do a quick little review of this ginormous set. However, I know that most of you just want to know, what do I think about this set? What is my score for this set? Do I think it's worth the price? And I do already have this set built, so if you did miss my live stream, I did try to build this set in less time than Solid Brick Studios, and yeah, that didn't work out too well. I also was having really bad luck with keeping the stream going, so I ended up having to split it up into like 6 or 7 different streams. Solid Bricks built it in like 5 hours and 45 minutes, and I was only about halfway done with the second wing of the gunship when I was at about 5 hours and 15 minutes. So there was no way I was going to beat his time, but let's be honest, the dude is a machine. He builds a lot of LEGO sets, and he's been doing it for a long time. So I definitely wanted to challenge myself, and it was fun just to see if I could do it, but yeah, that man is a machine. Also, if you are interested in seeing me build these sets, I don't really do time lapses in my reviews anymore, but every time I get a set to build, I'm gonna probably live stream it, and it's always a fun time to build and talk with you guys and do all that fun stuff. Anyways, the UCS Republic Gunship. Really quick, guys, I wanted to make sure you guys all know about the podcast that I recently started up. I am a co-host on a podcast called A Couple of Brickheads with my co-host who goes by the name of Sean the Right Way. We are 2 episodes in, and so far we've been having a super fun time with it. We go live every single Thursday night on YouTube at midnight Eastern Standard Time. And if you live in the East Coast and midnight is a little too late, I understand, but we do post every single podcast on YouTube after we are doing it live. So be sure to check out the first 2 podcasts so you can be caught up on the podcast so you can be ready every single Thursday. In that second episode, we did already have a guest star on the pod, and it was Life of Lego. If you guys aren't familiar with Life of Lego, he's an up-and-coming YouTuber, and he really is kind of making a splash on the scene. We had him on the pod for the entire time, and I think we did almost like a 2-hour episode, so that was super fun. Anyways, yeah, check out the pod. My arm's getting tired, so I'm gonna go ahead and edit this video. All right, guys, so I've switched up the camera angle here because it's really hard for me and this ginormous set to be in the frame at the same time. And obviously, I want to show this thing off as much as I can and do a quick little review of this before we really talk about, is it worth it? What's my final opinion? What's my score? Yada, yada, yada. And before we take a deep dive into this set, I do want to show you that the instruction booklet is a hefty one. I mean, this is a absolute phone book of an instruction manual. You put the gunship on the stand at 533 pages, and you start building on page 18. So you really have over 500 pages of building. And I mean, this thing definitely will take you longer than you think. Not to really look at the instruction manual too much, but I do really like this image inside the cover there. Super good image of the gunship there. And of course you got, and the winner is, talking about how this set was fan voted on and yada yada yada. And there's the designers of the gunship that a lot of people are pretty mad at just because of the minifigure selection of this ship, but we'll get to that. The shroud of the dark side has fallen. Begun the Clone War has. I always thought a good name for episode 2 would have been The Shroud of the Dark Side, but yeah, I don't know, that's just me. You got some more kind of concept art looking pictures of the gunship looking pretty cool. Here's how you use a brick separator, because I guess some people buy these sets and just can't figure it out. And then step by step here, it kind of shows you how the gunship all comes together. There is 17 steps in this build, but there's also multiple bags for each step. So quite a few bags for this massive set. That's pretty much everything you need to know about the instruction manual. The back just has a nice clean Star Wars logo there. And yeah, let's go ahead and get to the gunship itself. All right, guys, so first off, I'll go ahead and agree with the main narrative on this gunship, and that is, it is just massive. Some may be concerned about how they're even going to store this thing or display it or whatever, because yes, it is pretty dang huge.
That's what she said?
However, there are some things about this design that I do want to show you that I think LEGO did that is super, super smart and is going to make this thing a little bit easier to deal with, even though it is so large.
That's what she said!
But before we go ahead and get into those building techniques, I mean, this thing is just beautiful, man. I mean, I'm going to say that straight up. This thing is just gorgeous. I mean, there really isn't that much else I could ask for a UCS gunship. I mean, besides maybe the minifigures, but like I said, we'll get to that. But in terms of the design of this actual ship, man, it is beautiful, dude.
No, dude! Life's a beach and you're here, dude!
It is pretty much symmetrical on both sides. Both wings are pretty much exactly the same. I mean, they very well are exactly the same, except one is the right wing, one's the left wing. And also, this side of the gunship is also exactly the same as the other side. So throughout the building experience, it does get a little bit repetitive, because once you build one wing, you realize, oh man, I gotta do the same thing all over again. But even though this thing is mostly pretty much symmetrical on both sides and is a little bit repetitive through the building process, it still is a really, really fun build. As I was trying to beat Solid Brick's time, I still was having a good time building this set, even though I was sweating a little bit trying to get this done as fast as possible. All in all, it still was a very, very fun building experience. But without saying too much, guys, there's already been plenty of reviews done on this thing, so I'm not going to get into too much detail. I think this thing is a absolute beautiful model. There's really nothing I can complain about in terms of the design. I do wish we got a little bit more printed pieces. Pretty much everything that isn't the two cockpit pieces or these little bubble laser things.
She came down in a bubble, dog! I'm not fighting with you. Grow up!
Is all stickers. There's a sticker there, there's a sticker there, there. You got some on the wings, there's got some right here. To give you a better idea, there is the empty sticker sheet, and some people would say that is just way, way, way too many stickers for a UCS Star Wars set, especially a $350 UCS Star Wars set. Pretty much all of these stickers, besides maybe one right there on the top, are all clear back stickers. So they're like those clear decals. So you do have to be very, very careful that you do not get any like hair or dirt or dust on those stickers while you're putting them on, because if you do that, there is pretty much no way you can fix it. I got pretty lucky with mine. I don't think there is any dust under there, but you can kind of see as I get closer, this whole bottom strip under that is just clear. So any dust or anything that gets under that, it's not coming off. I really am okay with a lot of these stickers. There's a couple up here that I'm fine with. I'm fine with the sticker on the wings and the yellow ones right there and the small white one. I mean, those are fine, but I do think some of these stickers should have just been the regular white back stickers and not the clear back, especially this one here. But with this set, unfortunately, that is not the case. I mean, when you look at the set, you really can't tell that there's a lot of stickers on it, so I mean, that's good. So other than the fact that there are quite a few stickers on this set, especially for being a UCS set, I mean, it's still not too bad. And I mean, there's really no other negatives about this set that I can think of in terms of design. Now, the minifigures, that might be a different story, but we'll get there. There really isn't much else that I can say about this set that a lot of other reviewers haven't already said. This thing is just such a gorgeous, gorgeous model. There's really nothing I would change aside from the minifigures. I promise we will get to that. But I mean, this thing is just beautiful. All the angles they achieve, like that little angle right there above the wing and the little wedge plate that goes in right there under each wing, and there's also some in the back as well. But this thing is just awesome. And then this little function right here, that's really cool. I mean, it's not necessarily a play feature. It doesn't actually shoot any missiles, but the fact that that is there on a UCS set is cool to me. It's something that doesn't really have to be there, but hey, it is. And that's pretty much all I'm gonna say about the design of this thing. I mean, I think it's absolutely gorgeous and there's really nothing I would change about it. The wings are gorgeous. This whole middle part with this function is awesome. The cockpit looks amazing. These little bubble blazers look awesome. All of the detail on the very front of the gunship looks absolutely spectacular. Yes, you do have some tiny gaps there, but I mean, the fact that this whole thing lays on there seamlessly and just really pulls off that angle perfectly, I mean, that is just A+ stuff. And that's pretty much everything I'm going to say about this set in terms of the design goes, but I do want to point out some building techniques that they used in this set that are just super awesome and makes this thing a little bit more convenient to own. There is no denying that this thing is absolutely massive.
That's what she said.
I mean, for a set that costs $350, I mean, this thing takes up a lot of space in the room. I mean, it definitely has a presence to it. It really almost takes up as much space as the UCS Millennium Falcon. I mean, not quite, but to be honest, the wingspan and how long it is and how tall it sits, this thing is pretty big. And to be honest, a lot of people are gonna look at this set and be like, man, that's really nice, I want it, but what am I gonna do with that thing? Where am I gonna put it? However, I think the designers really did take that into account. I mean, this set is massive. It's gonna be hard to find space for it. So I actually found the wings to be fairly easy to take off. You do have to remove these little wedges right here. They're kind of, okay, there's a piece of it. There's another piece of it. There we go. So really all you have to do is remove these little triangular wedges that go up under the wing, and honestly it looks super cool. One of my favorite features. It is kind of hard to get it in there because this brick right here is on a hinge, so you really kind of have to get the right angle, and sometimes you'll put it in there first try, no problems. Then you'll go to do the one in the back and it'll literally take you like 15 different tries, or at least that's how it was for me. But anyways, you take these off and, oh, actually, you know what? When you do this, you might, oops, I'm breaking stuff on it already. When you do this, you definitely don't want to do it on the stand because I was showing my friend Jared how you can easily remove these wings, and I had it on the stand, and yeah, I about broke this entire thing. I mean, a few pieces definitely fell off of it, and it definitely did break, but yeah, it almost fell off the whole table. Just to show you, it's honestly pretty wobbly when it's on the stand. However, I don't think that's a bad thing at all. I mean, the stand does what it needs to do. It makes the gunship look really good. It has this slight forward lean to it, so I think that looks super good as opposed to if it was just flat like that. Definitely gives it a little bit of character. It makes it kind of look like it's about to land or something. Anyways, these wings are only held in there with just one long Technic pin. So if you do pull off that piece and then you go ahead and pull out the Technic pin, the entire wing comes off. And I just realized I'm doing that on the stand, and I was just explaining why you shouldn't do that. Wow, I'm really stupid. Anyways, yeah, when you do this, don't have it on the stand when you take these wings off because it makes it really heavy on one side, and it's probably going to tip over. If we go ahead and come over to the other side, we can go ahead and pop these wedges out. They're fairly easy to get out. I mean, you saw me struggle with the first one that kind of broke when I tried to get it out, but most of the time they're pretty easy to pop out. Go ahead and pull these Technic pieces out. Oh, and then sometimes that does happen where it just gets stuck in there, and then you have to take yourself a little and get that out. It's not really like a designed feature. I mean, they don't advertise that you can take the wings off. So this is something I found that no other reviewers were really talking about. And yeah, it's not the craziest thing in the world, like, oh, big deal, you can take off the wings. But the fact that this set is so giant and it will be kind of hard to find a spot to just display this or just a spot to keep it in general, taking off the wings really makes it a lot easier to fit either onto a shelf or into like a plastic tote. And then you can also go ahead and swing in both of these little ball bubble turret things. I forget what they're called. Roast me in the comments, I don't really care. It'll be funny. But anyway, so you can store these on the inside there if you really want, and then close these up. And then all of this, you really could just like, you know, put in there. You could just put these back where they go right there. That way they're nice and secure in there. Boom, boom. Then you could just sort of store it in there like this on a shelf or a little tote like that, and it just definitely saves you a lot of space. I don't know, I thought it was pretty cool that you could take the wings off and put it back on pretty easily, but some of you are probably just looking at me like, dude, who cares? You can take the wings off of like any Lego set to make it smaller. Yeah, well, you know, whatever. I think it's cool. And then just like that, you go ahead and just line that up. You go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. Bada boom, bada bing. So then you want to get your wedge pieces back in. Oh, yep, see, I'm already having problems. Oh, okay, I got that in there second try. I'll go ahead and turn it around so you can see on the back you have the white wedge, then you have the red wedge on the front. Would you guys call this a wedge? It's kind of a wedge, right? It is worth mentioning, picking this thing up, yes, it is a little bit back heavy. You can still pick it up with one arm. You do have to kind of get your hand as far back as you can go without breaking these things off. But you can definitely pick it up and almost swoosh this thing. I mean, it's pretty swooshable. You know what, I might just have to, you know, swoosh this thing around my house and like have someone film me do it. That'd be pretty hilarious. But yeah, so you can pick it up with one hand if you really, really wanted to, but the safer way to really pick this thing up would be one hand in the back and the other hand right here, and it's pretty easy to pick up. There is no handle or anything to really hold it on with one hand safely. If you do just kind of put one hand right there, it is gonna tip back on you pretty fast, so you do wanna make sure you really got a good hold of it. But one more feature I wanna show you guys is how this whole middle assembly comes off. Giving you guys a closer look here while I demonstrate this. These also all come off in just one assembly. They all go on there with 3 Technic pins. So this whole middle assembly right here comes out, and it's just really interesting to see it because how they really achieve this awesome seamless angle going all the way up the middle there is really, really cool. This is also another thing that I haven't really seen any other Lego YouTubers demonstrate. I mean, they all talk about how this is awesome, but you know, I'll really get up in there and show you how it works. You know, not trying to flex or anything, but I just think this is a really cool technique. And you know, nobody really showed it. You know, it's not like they have to or anything, but yeah. So all you have to do is poke out this little Technic rod right here, and then this whole thing just comes off. It's all its own build, and it just lays on top of all these plates and really makes that nice seamless look. And then reinstalling this is much easier than taking the wings on and off. I mean, there's no real reason why you would want to take this off except maybe show your friend like, oh, hey, look how cool this building technique is, you know? Boom, it's all one thing. And then placing this thing on the stand is pretty easy. There's a hole in the bottom of the ship right there, and you just line that up with that white brick right there, and it sits right on top. And so yeah, all in all, guys, this thing is freaking awesome, man. Like, I love this UCS set. I don't love it more than the UCS Falcon, but I think this is gonna go down as one of my favorite UCS sets we've ever gotten. All right, guys, so the minifigures in this set. You've all seen them, you all know what they are, but what's my opinion on these things? Do I think the set should have had more minifigures? Do I think it should have had one of these minifigures but not the other? Do I think it should have had 2 different minifigures altogether? But I will say this, I feel like a lot of people are getting a little too triggered at the fact that we didn't get a Phase 2 Cody or a Jedi Bob or something like that in these sets. However, I do very much understand the frustration over the fact that they said that the only reason why they didn't want to put Jedi Bob or Commander Cody in the set is because they didn't want to put a big price barrier around a really desirable figure. Yeah, because you know, a company like Lego just always makes sure that they don't put expensive price barriers around really desirable collectible minifigures. I mean, it's just something that Lego doesn't do. I mean, they said it themselves. They don't want to put an expensive price barrier around, you know, a really desirable, collectible minifigure. Or even in some cases, 3 minifigures. So, yeah, that's pretty much a BS excuse. I mean, they definitely put exclusive minifigures in expensive sets. Diagon Alley. Even Mos Eisley has like 7 exclusive minifigures in it, and it's $350 just like this. I mean, it's just like, what? And it definitely didn't help the minifigure drama when the designers said this. That's pretty bad. So do I think we should have got a Commander Cody or a Jedi Bob? I mean, not really. But the fact that that designer said that about this clone really just doesn't help. I mean, this is just called like a clone commander or something. Like, this is literally pretty much just a made-up clone. And I get it, they don't want to do a new helmet mold or anything like that for a new minifigure if they really did want to do a clone pilot for this thing. Because, yeah, it would really suck if they had to just make a bunch of new helmet molds. You know, it would just suck if they had to keep making all these custom head molds. Man, it would cost so much money to do that, you know. Why would they do that for a $350 Star Wars set, you know? But they would do it for every single figure in the freaking Looney Tunes series. Why? Those are all custom head molds, but they don't want to give us the correct clone pilot for this thing because they don't want to make a new helmet. Like, I get it, I guess, but I don't get it because these are all new head molds. All of these minifigures. Okay. I'm gonna calm down now. Guys. There's people sleeping downstairs, and this whole minifig thing has been talked about enough, and this whole minifig thing has been discussed enough on YouTube. I don't need to pile it on. But if we're really being honest, maybe they just shouldn't have put minifigures in this set. I mean, it's literally not minifigure scale. So, I mean, what's the real point of having minifigures with this? I don't have the UCS Star Destroyer, but it literally just has 2 Imperial officers with it. I mean, I think they got some arm printing or something like that, but it's just 2 Imperial officers. And that's a $700 UCS set. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to get too fired up about the minifigure thing because it really doesn't bother me that bad. But I'm not mad that it's not a Cody, and I'm not mad that it's not a Jedi Bob. And I mean, I don't hate the Mace Windu, but they totally could have done like some kind of dual molding on his legs. Like, I'm pretty sure they've done that before. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure they have. I mean, yeah, cool Mace Windu, but they could have done a little bit better on that. And then how much would it really have hurt them to make a new helmet mold for this? But I'm done talking about the minifigures. I'm done talking about anything else that has to do with this set, really. I mean, I think this set is absolutely fantastic. So let's go ahead and move on to the final opinion. And do I think this set is worth the $350? You know, it's kind of funny. Like, I'm pretty sure I said people are getting too fired up about the whole minifigure drama with this set. And then as soon as I started talking about the minifigures, look at me, getting fired up. Anyways, to the main topic of this video, do I think this set is worth $350? Short answer, yes. Let me give you some reasons why I think it is worth it. This is my personal opinion, and maybe after I form my opinion, you can tell for yourself if you think it would be worth it to put in your collection. First things first, I think it's worth it to point out that I am a pretty big prequel fan. I mean, I literally have the steelbook of Attack of the Clones chilling in my background. I don't think you can see it behind this massive gunship, but there it is. I'm 26 years old, so I was about 5 or 6 when episode 1 came out, and episode 2 was actually the very first Star Wars movie I ever saw in a movie theater. And even though I was only 8 years old, I remember almost every minute of it. I mean, that was just such an awesome experience. I really wish I would have saw Phantom Menace in theaters, but to be honest, I was 6 years old, and the only reason why I remember watching that is because I had it on VHS and just watched it a lot. So that being said, I'm a big prequel fan, so this set obviously appeals to me. If I'm someone who's maybe older or just someone who doesn't like the prequels at all and really just likes the original trilogy, I would obviously rather spend my money on the Mos Eisley Cantina because, I mean, it's the same price. And to be honest, if I had to pick one, I would probably go with the Mos Eisley Cantina. Honestly, just because I really love that set, and it's got like 20 plus minifigures. Maybe it only has like 18, 19, I'm pretty sure it's 20. Either way, it's got a lot of minifigures and a lot of exclusive minifigures. But it really wouldn't be an easy decision. I mean, I'm saying that now because I already own the Mos Eisley Cantina and then I got this. But to be honest, I mean, The only reason why I think, like, gun to my head, I have to pick one, I think I'm going Cantina just because it's minifig scale. If I want to build a Tatooine mock, I can drop it right into that. And I mean, this is pretty much just a display piece. Now, don't get me wrong, I love my Star Wars display pieces. I mean, that's mostly what I do with my sets. I mean, I build them and display them. I still don't really have enough Lego pieces in my inventory to really start building mocks. So I love my display pieces, I really, really do. But I still feel like at the end of the day, it's close. It's really, really close, but I still feel like I would pick the Cantina over this set. However, I freaking love this set. I almost love this as much as the UCS Millennium Falcon. But at the end of the day, the UCS Millennium Falcon is just a 7,541 piece beast. And it's just freaking gorgeous, man. Like, it's just, this is gorgeous, don't get me wrong, this is pretty. But I mean, the Falcon, I mean, come on. I mean, it's my favorite Lego set of all time, if you didn't already know. What I'm trying to say is, if you're not really a fan of the prequels at all, then you're probably not going to want to get this set, especially if you don't have the Cantina. Now, I went to the release day of this set, and now while there was a lot of people there, there was a ton of people also buying the entire Star Wars wave that was also coming out alongside this. Now, this was the only thing I picked up that day, and I still don't have all the other Star Wars sets. And I mean, instead of spending $350, like, I could have got almost the whole entire Star Wars wave. I mean, not every single one of the sets, but it would have maybe been nicer to spend that $350 on multiple sets rather than just this. However, I'm an adult Lego collector, so I mean, I have a job, so I mean, I have money, and I buy a lot of the sets that I do like. But if I was like a young kid that saved up 2 checks from working at McDonald's to just get the $350, it would be a super hard decision for me to try to pick this or like most of the new wave that came out. For example, the new Boba Fett Starfighter, the Mandalorian Starship. Actually, the Boba Fett is the Starship, and the Mandalorian one is the Starfighter. Either way, this should still be a slave one, but whatever. But anyways, there was a ton of other good sets, so if I'm somebody that is younger and doesn't have a ton of money and was saving up a long time to either get this or the whole new wave, again, it'd be a super, super hard decision. But if you're a prequel fan and you have the money for this set and you're kind of on the fence about it, my answer to you is do it.
Do it.
I think this set is super beautiful. The building experience is really, really fun. It just looks good on display in general. I love how the stand has that slight forward lean to it. You all might think it's really, really stupid that for like 2 minutes in this video I talked about how cool it is that the wings come off pretty easy, and that may be a cool feature to you or maybe not. But I think it's pretty cool, and I think that it helps the fact that this thing is such a beast, it's easier to kind of shrink it down and store it away a little bit easier. And another reason to buy this set if you are a prequel fan is the fact that we don't really get that many UCS sets that are from the prequels. I mean, we got a Darth Maul head, a Naboo Starfighter, a General Grievous, I think an Obi-Wan's Jedi Interceptor. We really haven't got that much. Like, we haven't gotten a Venator. We haven't gotten, like, the droid command ship. I think that would be a sick prequel UCS set. I mean, they could do Anakin's pod racer. I mean, it would be kind of weird to make Anakin's pod racer into a UCS set, but it's something different rather than just repeating the old original trilogy sets. Don't get me wrong, I think the Millennium Falcon was due for an upgrade, and they've done a few different Star Destroyers, and that one was due for an upgrade. But I definitely think we do need more sets from the prequels in UCS form. So for me, this set is a must buy. Like, there's no way I can just let this set sit on the shelf and me not buy it. So is this set worth $350? I think absolutely, like, without a doubt, it is definitely worth the money. At 3,292 pieces, yeah, you're gonna have the piece count people talking about, oh, well, it's 350 and the piece count and blah, blah, blah. Well, this is the thing. You got a lot of bigger plates on here, and you got these specialized printed cockpit pieces, and it's massive. I mean, look at this thing. I'm not gonna bring my UCS Millennium Falcon over here because it's too big and I just really don't want to. This thing compared to the UCS Millennium Falcon, I mean, it would really stack up pretty close to how big that thing is, and it's $800. It does have over 7,000 pieces, but it's got a lot more small, detailed pieces. Basically what I'm saying, guys, is piece count is not everything. So if you're on the fence about it because the piece count's a little low, it has nothing to do with it. There's a lot of big plates amongst this set, and it's worth it. Just trust me. Now, what would I score this out of 10? Is this set a 10 out of 10? Will I let these minifigures keep me from scoring this set a perfect 10 out of 10? Because to be honest, I think most people that don't give this a 10 out of 10 are just letting the minifigures keep them from doing that. Even though I'm saying that people shouldn't get that worked up over the minifigures, if we got an actual gunship pilot with the correct helmet and the correct markings, and maybe if the Mace Windu at least had dual molded legs or something, I think I would be a lot quicker to just be like, oh, it's a 10. Easily, it's a 10. So I think just for the simple fact that I have to really think about it, I think I gotta go 9.5. I think I am going to let the minifigures keep me from scoring this thing a 10 out of 10. I mean, a 9.5 is still a great score. I think this is a fantastic set. But to be honest, if they just sold this set for like $320, $330 or something and just didn't give you minifigures, then I think I would give it a 10 out of 10. But it's just, they even asked us in the voting thing what minifigures we wanted, and I guarantee you nobody was really saying like, oh, Mace Windu and just some random clone. I mean, I think it would have been cool to maybe get a Padme in there or something like that. It's been a while since we've had a Padme, but I think the fact that the minifigures honestly just hurt this set more than it helps it, and it's not even minifigure scale. I think you could have gone a little bit cheaper on the price and have just not put minifigures in this, and who knows, maybe it would have sold better. Oh yeah, and before I end this video, I did want to point out, this might be the first time that the play scale version of this set will sell out faster than the UCS version. Let me explain. So I'm not talking about the play scale gunship that we've already had in the past, but I think Lego would really be missing out on an opportunity if they did not make another play scale gunship. I mean, come on, how many TIE Fighters and X-Wings have we got? I love this set, don't get me wrong, but I just think a play scale version that was 160, heck, they could even make it 200 if they wanted to, just so they can include like a bunch of clones and maybe some speeders that could come out of the back or something. I think that would sell out way faster than this. Now, I mean, there was a lot of hype about this thing selling out really fast, and I mean, I don't know if they overproduced or people just weren't buying it because of the figures or whatever, or maybe because it's a prequel and it's not an original trilogy. People were saying this thing was going to sell out in like minutes.
I personally think this is going to be a model that sells out right at midnight on Lego.com.
And it did not. And I mean, I kept checking Lego.com after I bought this just out of curiosity to see if it was going to sell out. And I think it was around August 14th when I finally saw this thing go out of stock on Lego.com. So that's about 2 weeks that this set was available in America. I think I heard about this set selling out a lot faster in other countries. But I mean, I remember R2-D2 selling out in less than an hour, I feel like. Maybe it was an hour and a half or 2 hours, but I at least know R2-D2 went on back order in like 40 minutes. And this thing was green lit available for 2 weeks. That's a whole nother topic of discussion right there, but yeah, I don't know if it was they overproduced or not as many people bought it that they thought they would, but yeah, this thing hung around on the shelves for a lot longer than we thought. Let me know down below why you think this set was available for as long as it was, at least in America. Anyways, guys, I think that is going to do it for this set. I feel like I've been talking to you guys for like freaking ever, man. I mean, I haven't done a review in a really long time, and I mostly wanted to do just a quick review on this thing and then tell you guys, you know, is it worth the $350 and what's my rating on it and everything. But there's just a lot to talk about with a big $350 UCS set. Anyways, guys, I think that is going to wrap it up for this video. It feels super good to get back doing reviews again. And to be honest, I haven't posted a video in like 5 days, so it honestly just feels really good to make a video again. And I do have some more videos coming out after this, so hopefully I won't take another 5 days off. I've got more sets to review. I got a vlog I'm working on right now. I should be getting another package in the mail tomorrow to unbox, so that's really, really exciting. I still want to continue my Q&A series. I know it's been months, guys, but I promise I want to start up the Q&A series again and actually stay consistent with it and do it at least once a week. Anyways, guys, thank you all so much for liking, commenting, subscribing. You all are amazing. As always, this has been Brent's Bricks, and remember, never stop building.